You ever notice how picking a new show feels less like relaxing and more like a high-stakes gamble? You scroll through Prime, Netflix, Apple, Disney, and suddenly your Friday night turns into an accidental research project. Trailers playing, algorithms recommending, critics shouting, audiences arguing, and by the time you hit play, you're too tired to care. Here's the secret nobody tells you: streaming platforms don't actually want you to find your favorite show fast. They want you scrolling. They want you overwhelmed. Because confusion keeps you locked in. It's not about giving you the best, it's about keeping you busy. That's the forbidden knowledge right there, and once you realize it, the game changes. But that's why you're here. I've already put in the hours, the rewinds, the did that explosion look cheap or was it genius moments, so you don't have to. Today, I'm breaking down the 7 best action shows of 2025 so far, and by the end of this video, your watch list is going to look dangerous, like, goodbye productivity, hello binge, comma levels of dangerous. So let's get into it, but be warned, each entry only gets more intense, and if you think number 7 is wild, just wait until we hit number 1. Here's the pain point: there's too much. Too many shows, too many genres, too many voices telling you what's must watch. The truth, half of what's trending right now isn't even worth your time. Critics hype it because of budgets, audiences hype it because of fandoms, and you're stuck in the middle. So my mission: strip away the noise. Forget the filler, forget the hype cycles. Only shows that actually deliver. The ones that make you lean forward, not scroll away. Let's start with something controversial: Countdown. Now, this show barely makes the cut, but sometimes barely is still worth watching. It's a Prime Video cop thriller with a ticking clock domestic terrorist plot, starring Jensen Ackles. And listen, I could watch Jensen Ackles yell at traffic cones and it still feel like high-stakes drama. Here's where it gets tricky: critics hated this one, 35% Rotten Tomatoes score, ouch, but audiences, 73%. Which makes sense, because while it's not reinventing the wheel, it's got that late night, one more episode energy, think 24, but if Jack Bauer had a slightly less interesting backstory, is it groundbreaking? No. Is it secretly fun, in a guilty pleasure popcorn way? Absolutely, and sometimes that's all you need. Now here's where the tone shifts. American Primeval on Netflix is not fun guilty pleasure, it's intense, brutal, unforgiving, a Western saga set in the 1850s led by Taylor Kitsch and Betty Gilpin. Picture this: colonialism, expansion, raw violence, and a world that makes you wonder if humanity's ever actually evolved, or just gotten better at hiding the ugly parts. It's gory, it's emotional, and it doesn't flinch. Critics sat at 72%, audiences, 87%. That tells you everything. This isn't casual viewing, it's a 6-hour gut punch. And yet, bingeable, almost too bingeable. You'll burn through it in one sitting and then feel slightly haunted after. Which, in my opinion, is exactly what a Western should do. Okay, let's get weird, because this next one sounds like it was pitched during a dream sequence. Kevin Bacon, as a bounty hunter, who comes back from the dead to capture demons and send them to hell. I know, you're either laughing or you're already searching for the title. But hear me out, the bondsman works. Somehow, Kevin Bacon sells it with this rugged charm, like he was born to chase supernatural criminals. The show leans into its ridiculous premise, but it also keeps the action sharp and the horror real. Critics gave it 84%, audiences 77%. But here's the heartbreak: it's cancelled after just 1 season. So if you dive in, know you're getting a single tight, 8-episode run. Honestly, still worth it. Sometimes the best stories are the ones that leave you wanting more. Now pause. We've only covered the first 3, and already we've gone from cops to cowboys to demon hunting Kevin Bacon. And trust me, the next 4 shows make these look tame. So if you're still here, clearly you're one of us, the kind of person who values their time and doesn't want it wasted on weak recommendations. That's why you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Because here's the truth: streaming platforms will keep throwing filler at you, but here, we only talk about the good stuff. 1 subscribe saves you hours of scrolling, simple as that. Alright, deep breath. Let's get back into it. Coming up, a Navy SEAL prequel that might actually outdo the original, the long-awaited return of one of Marvel's darkest heroes, a Korean action ride that might be the year's biggest sleeper hit, and one show so dangerously good, I almost don't want to reveal it. You think you know what's coming next? Think again. You ever watch a prequel and think, there's no way this tops the original? Well, surprise. The terminal list Dark Wolf might actually be the exception. Taylor Kitsch, yes, the same Taylor Kitsch from American Primeval, is back again. At this point, I'm convinced the man is secretly cloning himself to dominate every action role in 2025. He leads this Navy SEAL prequel with a level of grit and intensity that even fans of the original didn't see coming. Chris Pratt's involved behind the scenes, which makes this more than just a paycheck project. You can feel the passion. The firefights hit harder. The missions feel sharper. It's not just action, it's action with precision. Critics are hovering around 77%, audiences at 85%, and honestly, those numbers will climb once the season finishes. Here's the twist though: only 3 episodes are out right now. Which means if you start, you're in cliffhanger purgatory with the rest of us. Do you risk the wait, or do you hold off until it's all released? That's the dilemma. Now let's talk about a show fans have been waiting years for: Daredevil Born Again. If you watched the original Netflix series, you already know, Charlie Cox as Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin are basically action TV royalty. Their chemistry, their tension, their rooftop brawls, it's what made the first 3 seasons legendary. So does Born Again live up to the hype? Well, yes and no. The action sequences, flawless, gritty, brutal, the kind of choreography that makes you flinch like you're the one taking the punches. Cox and D'Onofrio, still incredible. But the political subplot, let's just say it has all the depth of a kiddie pool. Still, this is Marvel's street-level storytelling at its best, and with more seasons on the way, plus the Punisher circling back, you'd be crazy not to catch up now. Time for the sleeper hit, Butterfly. This South Korean action series stars Daniel Dae-Kim, and let me tell you, it's fast, it's sharp, and it might just be the most underrated gem of 2025. The story, a veteran with a shadowy past who stumbles into a conspiracy that won't leave him alone. Sounds familiar, right? Kind of like Reacher. But the execution here, unique, stylish, relentless. Every fight feels personal, every chase feels earned, and with only 6 episodes it's dangerously bingeable. One night gone. Trust me, I made that mistake. I finished it at 3 AM and still showed up to work the next day pretending I was just tired. Yeah, sure. Totally believable. And here it is, the crown jewel. The one I almost didn't want to share because it's that good. Murderbot. Apple TV Flop might not have the biggest audience, but wow, they know how to pick a hit. Based on the cult favorite sci-fi book series, Murderbot delivers a mix of action, humor, and existential dread that hits harder than most serious dramas. The cast, unreal. Alexander Skarsgård, David Dastmalchian, Noma Doomswiney. They elevate this thing into something unforgettable. The action sequences are razor sharp, the sci-fi world building is immersive, and the humor, actually funny. Not forced Marvel one-liner funny, real laugh out loud funny. But here's the secret beneath all the explosions and android sarcasm, Murderbot is about humanity. About what it means to care. And somehow it makes you feel more than half the dramas released this year. The only catch, you need Apple TV+, which means some of you will roll your eyes, but let me be blunt. This one is worth the subscription alone. Alright, we've made it through all 7. Now I want to hear from you. Which one would you put at number 1? Butterfly over Daredevil? Countdown higher than American Primeval? Or are you bold enough to say the Bondsman deserves the crown just because Kevin Bacon fighting demons is peak television? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And yes, I'll lightly roast your picks if they're outrageous. It's all love. Think about what we just covered this year alone. Cop thrillers, demon hunters, Navy SEALs, blind lawyers, South Korean conspiracies, murderous robots. 2025 isn't just delivering action, it's throwing us into chaos in the best way possible. And let's be real, I roasted Countdown earlier, but be honest, half of you are going to watch it anyway, just to see if I was exaggerating. Don't lie. So here's the deal, if even one of these shows made your watch list today, you owe yourself a like on this video. And if you want more breakdowns, more rankings, and more, I binged it so you don't have to content, subscribe right now, because next time we're flipping the script, I'm ranking the most overhyped shows of 2025 and trust me, feelings will be hurt. Until then, watch smart, binge responsibly, and remember if your boss asks why you're tired on Monday, just tell them Jones made you do it.